Well, hi there, and thank you for joining us on today, another of our live shows, and actually the first one of 2019. So, Happy New Year to you all. Thank you. If you're joining us live, as you start coming in, please just let us know that and drop your name in. And as we're going through, please ask any questions. And if you're catching us on the replay, then still do the same thing. As you're watching through this, just post any questions in that you that come to your mind, and Michelle or I will come back to you and answer those for you. So I've given away. I'm really excited actually because I'm starting off the year with a friend of mine, Michelle, who's going to be talking to us about Facebook. And I thought a great way actually. We're all in this online space trying to get businesses going and or taking our businesses to the next level. And actually, I know that Facebook ads make a big part of this, and so I've reached out to Michelle, and I'm really pleased that she's come on here today to have a chat with us about all things Facebook ads, and particularly, Michelle, am I right? We're going to be talking about what makes a great offer.
Absolutely.
Yeah? So welcome,
yes.
Michelle.
Thank you. It's a delight to be here, Adrian. Yes.
Thank you.
Glad
We've been friends
here.
we've been kind of virtual friends, if you like, haven't we, for about 18 months or so, and you've always stood out to me. You were a real encourager and a help to me at the start, at the early stages, and it feels lovely to have you on here now.
Oh, it's lovely to be here, and it's been fun to see your business skyrocket. And you're always so generous with advice and help, so It's a pleasure to be here.
Excellent. Michelle, do you want to just introduce yourself a minute and maybe then say how you happened to get to where you are now?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So, about 7 years ago, I went through divorce and had always been a stay-at-home mom, raising kids on a ranch. And all of a sudden I needed an income, and I needed it from home because I was still homeschooling my kids. And, through a series of events, I started a business, but then found that with using Facebook ads, I could grow that business. But what I really became fascinated with was Facebook ads. And not only just Facebook ads, but especially around building businesses that are in the business coaching space, that are using webinars, that are using trainings, that are teaching and helping others, and are using webinars and free videos and all of those modalities to really grow their business. And I became a specialist in that area, and just have used millions and millions and millions of Facebook dollars to bring in tens of millions of dollars for my clients in revenue. So it's really been a fun ride, not without challenges, because Facebook is an ever-changing platform. Daily,
I think you're very brave.
We learn, what did Facebook do today? And so, but it's an exciting ride, and Facebook does work, and it still works today, and it's always, always, always about the offer. So when you hear someone or you feel frustrated with your Facebook ad results, you really need, the very first place to look is, how is my offer, and how are people perceiving my offer?
Because even when I talked about this show, one of my customers said to me, "Oh, I don't bother with Facebook ads. I've tried them. It's a waste of money. It just doesn't work." So you must hear that a lot, and I guess I'm excited that we're going to dig into that today and see maybe why that isn't working for people, or how we can really nail this. So you talk about an offer. Can you just clarify what you mean by an offer before we look at it?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I mean by an offer is, what are you giving to people? So Facebook is a place where you come and you give quality first. You give training first. You come with the idea of, here's my free offer. Now that free offer can be a free PDF. It can be a download. It can be a video, or it can be a full webinar. It can be other thing. I'm trying to think of other things. But the idea is, you give first.
Yes.
And if you're giving something that people just find to be, just pass it on.
Yeah.
It isn't interesting. It isn't captivating. It isn't meeting their immediate need.
Yeah.
Then people will pass it by. So it's about, the offer has to meet an immediate need. It has to meet a need that's keeping people up at night because they're not solving it and therefore their business results are suffering. Or it could be parenting, or it could be your child with a learning disability, but what do they need solved immediately? And I'm going to get a drink, just a second.
Yeah.
So how about if I run through 5 things?
Yes, that would be great.
Okay. So there's 5 things that can really help make an offer solid. Bring in low-cost leads, consistent low-cost leads.
Yeah.
So the very first one is you want an ultra-specific offer for an ultra-specific target audience. If your business has, well, we could do this for this set of people, we could do this for this set of people, we could do this, then make different offers for each of those groups. But where you get into trouble is if you're just doing one big balloon offer, then you're probably going to get, you're not going to get a lot of engagement. You're not going to get a lot of interest. People just pass it by.
Yeah.
So you want, number 1, an ultra-specific offer to an ultra-specific group. Okay?
So this is to do with your targeting or the actual copy and the
copy. We're just talking about the copy, the messaging, and then just after I run through these 5 things, I'll give you 4 examples of what we're running right now.
Excellent.
That meets these criteria. So number 2 is you want to give value. You want what you're giving to be of high value. Don't think that you can shortchange this area. You want to give something that's of real value that can really take someone to the next step. You don't want to just think, well, I can't give away my best stuff.
I know, yeah.
but if you do, people will be like, wow, if they gave that away for free, what will they give to me if I really dig in deep with them? And you can always come up with something, but if they see that you're giving something of real value, they'll value you. They'll value your time. So the next thing is you want to speak to an end result or the big benefit that they want.
Okay.
So maybe it's in real estate sales. So later today I'm going to be visiting with someone and their lead magnet is how to sell 100 homes per month consistently.
Okay.
Well, see how that talks to the end result, the big benefit that people want. They want consistency. A real estate agent would want consistency. They might have a 100 month and then they might have a 45 month and they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And so it talks to the end result. And then number 4 is you want immediate gratification. So it's hard for people to give up their time. And so you want people to be, if you're doing a lead magnet that is a PDF, you want that to be consumed within 4 to 7 minutes. Don't think you have to create a 30-page ebook. In fact, those don't do as well as just PDFs.
Okay.
Or not get on my email list and I'll send you a newsletter. That wouldn't do well.
No.
So what can you give people that is the 3 steps, the 5 ways, the 4 things never to eat, blah, blah, blah. That kind of quick thing. And then finally is rapid consumption. That just having, just being able to consume it quickly. And then they're on your email list.
Yeah.
So does that all make sense so far? And then I'll give you some examples.
Sylvia's just saying very good stuff on here. She's enjoying it.
Oh, good.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. I was going to chip in. I thought, no, I'll let you keep going. I can think of things straight away that relate to me with these, maybe where I'm going wrong anyway.
Well, good. Well, let me give you some examples and then let's dig in on yours, Adrian.
Yeah.
So the number 1 is, here, let me give you 4 examples. Now, these are things that we've either run in the last 4 months or are currently running today.
Okay.
So today meaning that we've run them for a while and we're getting low cost leads. So, but we've consistently gotten low cost leads. We didn't just start them today. But one of that we ran was the ultimate cheat sheet for turning hobby into an art career. So that was for an art coach. We brought in over 5,000 leads that were less than $1. Wow. So that was amazing. Very long run at that one. And then another one that we ran was, I have to look down at these titles.
Yeah.
Number is 3 simple ways to break free from habits, anxiety, and addictions, even if you've already tried everything else. So we brought in thousands of leads that were all less than $1.50 and all from cold traffic, meaning people that weren't familiar with the person yet. When you bring in people that don't know you yet, that's more expensive than people that are already your fans, already your email list. Those are always going to be less expensive. So the number 3 example is 5 minutes to peak productivity. That's just a quick PDF that people opt in. It just takes just a minute for them to do at the end of the day. It's beautifully branded, and it's by a company called Inkwell Press that creates physical planners like calendars.
Okay.
That type of thing. And then they also have a productivity course. And yesterday we started running their challenge that they're doing. It's the first time ever of them doing a challenge. Yeah. And that one is, the title for that one is 5 days to go from goal setting to goal getting. And our leads
brilliant.
For both warm and cold traffic are less than $1. And we've already brought in hundreds and hundreds of the leads from that.
Have you really?
So, that one is going very well. And those are examples. And if you listen to the titles, you'll hear how specific they are, how clear they are, how they lead to, this is what I want. For example, goal setting, yes, but what I want is the goal getting. So that's your benefit. So have a benefit in each one of those. So,
and how are you getting to that title then? Is this led by the client and what they feel their product is, or is it, is there research to the audience to come up with what they're wanting? How are you getting to the initial thing, really, of if that's a lead magnet or a course or a challenge that they're doing there?
Good
is
question.
This very much?
Often the client will come with the title based on what they are hearing from their clients.
Yeah.
Often I'll help with the title, like, hey, I think we could make it stronger by adding on a tagline, or by adding in a number at the front.
Yeah, and you can see whether it's exciting you, and I guess you either instantly go, love it, or I think we could do a bit of work here.
Yeah, the title is super important. It is of the ad copy, it's the most important real estate. So if we have a title that is just, it's not going to do as well. So for example, that last one, 5 days to go from goal setting to goal getting. That one was strengthened as we suggested that it be strengthened, and they came back with a stronger title, and clearly it's doing well.
Does the length of the title matter? Are you thinking of this I'm thinking of the little space you've got as a title on an ad there.
It does, because we don't always have to put the title where the title goes. So if you might even try asking a question at the bottom of the ad. For example, we're not doing this, but on that goal setting one, we could ask a question like, this is totally off the top of my head, but afraid to set goals again, afraid to fail at the goals again, or are you setting goals? Something that we could ask a question, but then the title can be in the ad copy up above, so that even if we made a really long title, we could ask a question at the bottom so that it doesn't just fall off on mobile, because mobile requires a much shorter title.
Yes. Well, that would be it. My thinking would have been, oh, I need to keep it to so many words because I don't. You've got to fit it into that space. But that's not necessarily where the title's going. Then that's the title is of the offer.
Right. Right. And you can put, like, for example, for a good lead magnet, putting the cover of a quote unquote book of it in the ad. That does really well. But then there we can have the whole title there.
Yeah.
And so they don't have to see it.
How does that work with, I know sometimes I've put things on Facebook and it will say there's too much text on the image and...
It's a little tricky, but often if you put it on what looks like a book, Facebook won't count that as the text.
Doesn't
sometimes
read it the same as you would just putting text over the front.
Yeah. So it kind of depends.
Fantastic. Before we move much further, Michelle, Sylvia's just asking on here, any tips on how to craft these amazing titles?
A good one is how-to titles tend to be really strong titles. So think of what you want to do that could be a how-to do blank, blank, blank. To make it even stronger, you can do how to do XYZ, like benefit, benefit, benefit.
Yeah.
Without, and then the pain point.
Okay. Yeah.
That makes a strong title too.
And I noticed some of those you've done times as well. It's been 5 days too, or
yes.
So
yes.
I think
to be really specific. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Thank you, Sylvia. Sylvia Isaacson. I think she's given you thumbs up over here as well. Anyway, I think you know her from BBD as well.
Good. Wonderful.
Sorry, what was I going to say on that?
I remember you had some questions about your own offer. So
well, I did, and as I was listening to yours...
Too. You wanted to talk about video, what makes a good video ad.
Yeah, we'll come to video a bit later. as I'd written down your points on here as you've just gone through them, I love the whole giving value because I think that's something that I've had contradicting advice on that really, and some have said to me you're giving way too much away, but I'm looking at it and when certainly for me YouTube videos has been a big part of how people are finding me, and it's the videos where I'm really just giving all the answers away that people are loving and coming back to, I'm a big fan of that really, that I think, and I'm in groups where people are saying, what camera do you use and what, and while others are saying, no, that's your secret sauce, you shouldn't be giving it away, I'm thinking, well, no, if that's what they're asking for, if they buy the kit, then who are they going to come to when they're struggling trying to set it up themselves? And so I'm a big advocate of, giving it all away like that. Absolutely. So how does this... We're talking about an offer as, so for instance, a lot of course creators like myself will be doing launches season, whether it be every month, every quarter, something like that. So is that the offer, or are we doing an offer really that leads to that? I saw in your example in your PDF that I downloaded from you, that you were talking in there, and I think someone had gone through with a challenge first and then ended with webinars. Is that right? Is that a good way to do it? Or is it harder to get people to a webinar and that be the only thing? Or should we kind of be preempted it with something first?
It's a great question. There have been lots and lots of times when we could go direct with the ads, go directly to the webinar and be really successful.
Yeah.
But at times... But webinar ads are always going to be more expensive because people are being asked to give away their time rather than just a quick PDF. And so it is always a good idea to test just a PDF with an offer like I described. Yeah. And then lead them to the webinar. You can do this then once they're on your list. You can offer the webinar or you could offer it on the thank you page. And then you'll have the low-cost lead that you got from a specific PDF. But then, in a sense, for free, you're getting them to sign up for the webinar. Not on the thank you page. Not everyone will sign up, but a percentage of people will if the offer is still strong for the webinar.
Or you've got them on an email list, and at that point you can then invite them to a webinar later on, once they've hopefully had some good value out of you anyway. Yeah, I can see that. And I think, I mean, this is what I've found. And actually my experience has been, when I've run ads in the past, and my challenge with this is that you tend to get, if for instance, we're going to be doing another launch at the end of the month. And so in the past, I've started ads, say 10 days before and thought, right, let's put some ads out. Let's run through this window that I've got. And I've started them off, and I've split out to a few different ad sets and trying things out. But it just seems to come up really quick, because you're only supposed to increase the amount every few days or something, aren't you? And you shouldn't really touch it once it's live, or is my understanding. So I find it's a very narrow window. But what I'm hearing you saying is that actually if this was an ongoing evergreen offer or a PDF, that allows me then to play with that a bit, doesn't it? Without it just being this very short window of, right, I'm running up to a launch.
Right. There's a lot of pressure that way. So it would be good if you had a specific PDF.
Yeah.
Maybe a specific PDF about audio. 3 things never to do with audio, or 3 things you must do to have crystal clear audio. Something along that line. The reason why I bring that one up is a couple of days ago I was reviewing an old YouTube video that I did, or it's on YouTube, and I was like, oh, the sound. And I know that I really worked hard to make the sound good, but I never could. And so, but something very clear, very specific, benefit driven. And then you could see how that did and get people on your list. And then you can retarget those people with the webinar. There's a lot of pressure to get the ad right if you're only doing them 10 days ahead of time. And that's a lot of pressure, and it's hard to get it just right. When we do ads for a webinar, we start them 7 days in advance, because I find that if we do them too much, and if it's a live webinar, if we do them too far in advance, people forget what they even signed up for. There's a lot of extra autoresponders.
But you've already fine-tuned it, and you've practiced with different copy and images and things. I mean, I've never done split testing really, partly because of that whole timing. But I guess if you can do that, and you can really narrow down your audience, can't you, with leading to a lead magnet or something earlier on? Yes,
you can. And then then when you retarget that list of people who opted in for your lead magnet, those webinar leads may be less expensive, or should be less expensive. We would expect that.
Yep. I'm just jumping back over again. Sylvia's posted in, what's an ideal time? Let me I'll bring it up on here. What's an ideal amount of time between launches with regards to Facebook ads, or should you always be running lead generating ads?
You know, that there's a lot in that question. It depends on your budget.
Yeah.
And, but if you've been successful with a lead magnet and you've brought in low cost leads, for example, we did a launch in September, and the low cost leads, we had a lot of low cost leads, and the launch was successful. So now we're restarting that, though the launch isn't until March. We're restarting that pretty soon, so that we can have those low cost leads.
Okay.
So does that help?
Yeah. Sylvia will tell us if that's answering. I'm seeing as we're talking that the value of starting early and actually test, because that's for me the panic is I don't really know my audience and how am I reaching the right people here? And I can look at the stats that are in there, and I can see the results, and I can see the cost. Quite often mine have been sort of £5 to get someone to register, has been a typical sort of the successful ones, which is when I then start. And what I'm finding as well is that when I talk to customers that have come through, they've certainly not been cold. They've found me in groups and things where I've been interacting, or they've seen a YouTube video and they've come into my pipeline, really, in my community, if you like, and have seen me. and then I think maybe that ad just prompts them.
Yes.
But that made me back off a bit, thinking, well, the ads aren't really working. It's more it's me being out there that people are seeing. It's that what's working. But actually, I think again, I'm just airing what I'm thinking. Really, I'm thinking that if I'm using my ads more just to get people into my community initially and get found by them, I can see that would be cheaper, just leading to that. And like you're saying, not the pressure of getting straight to a webinar and needing to convert someone off of the cold ad.
Right. And there is a big echo effect that's unmeasurable for a launch. So when you start ads to your target audience, then you're perceived as an authority for sure.
Yeah.
And sort of like celebrity-like status, you become the go-to, so that when they think about, video, I need to do more video, then they think of you and you are top of mind. And then the next time that you launch again, then you'll be more top of mind. So, but that is an unmeasurable sort of bubble that happens in a launch. And it can be discouraging if you don't see immediate results from it.
So can you track back, if I were doing ads now to a lead magnet on Sound or something like that, and then I did a launch in 3 months' time, can I track with the pixel that this person initially came in from this lead magnet?
Not by person, because you'll never, we don't know Joe Smith and Sally Wright.
Okay.
But Facebook knows. And so, yes, then you retarget those people up to 6 months.
It would show you somewhere in the stats that somebody had come through and you'd gain this value from this original. No? I'm just wondering how that...
I think you might be thinking more specific than it is.
Yeah,
but for example, Facebook, you retarget those people who have landed on the landing page, who have landed on the thank you page, who have landed on your initiate checkout page, your sales page, all of those pages. Then you put those as the targeting at the ad set level into an ad, and you can retarget all of those nameless people, and show them the offer again.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. What I was meaning more was, is there anything at the end of it that, once my launch is over and I'm looking at my numbers, is there any way of going, this person initially came through, or this, X amount came through from this original lead magnet and X amount came through from that one?
It's not possible in Facebook, but it is possible in certain email CRMs like ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft,
right?
HubSpot, and there's more, but I'm sure. But those are the three that I directly work with and know of. That what you do is you just tag them, and then you see, 6 months ago this person came through my launch, and finally they said yes. And so that's a huge benefit, because you can see what your traffic is doing and purchases.
Nice to just know what's working. And
yes, it's essential.
Michelle, I'm conscious of time. I know you've got a call to get onto soon. Just quickly, video. Obviously, video is what I'm about. It's what we're doing. I'm liking the idea of boosting, say, a video like this, and then targeting people that watched X amount of this video. Is that a good way of doing things?
It can be. Yes, it can be if the video would draw in your target audience.
Yeah.
So that's certainly a possibility, because they're warm traffic, and you can target the people that watch certain percentages. So theoretically, the person that watches 75% is much more interested than the person that watched 10%. And so, but you know what? It doesn't always equate just like that, because we test all of those percentages.
Yeah.
And we see that sometimes it doesn't, you would think you'd get more sales or more X from opt-ins but it doesn't always equate to that. So it's good to test the different percentages.
Okay.
Now, real quick, let's talk about, if you're interested, about the things that I've seen that make a strong video ad and
Please.
where to use video.
Absolutely.
So this is where you're so necessary because you can teach people how to make really great videos.
Yep.
So, in the client that's doing the challenge, 5 days to go from goal setting to goal getting, I always have to look at that title.
Yeah.
I asked her to put a video on the thank you page because the thank you page after they opt in is such valuable real estate. So for me, I don't ever want to see that blank, like, hey, thanks. That's not enough. Okay. Now we have to tell people what to do. And so we always want a video that says, hey, thanks. I really appreciate what you did. This is why it's a value. This is where you're going to get and where you're going to find it. Like, for example, the button below or an email. Yeah. And these are the next steps that you need to take. And so use that valuable real estate. And that's one thing that the client did was put that on there. And I was so glad to see that. Yeah. So, you can also have a video on the landing page, but you have to test it with and without because it may do better or it may do worse.
Yeah.
Now, in a video ad, it may actually be more expensive to run a video ad than just an image ad.
Yes,
it's always a test. Always run it both ways, with and without, a video ad and a not video ad. And a lot of times the video ad is a little bit more expensive, but statistically, Facebook says that if someone watches a video of you, that they are then 81% more likely to purchase from you.
Fantastic.
So that's really, even if it's slightly more expensive, it would be good to just hold off from turning it off and see if at the end, if you have all your tracking in place and you need to see, well, did more sales come from my video ads versus my image ads? So that's something that you want to watch because people really get to know you. Now, what makes a great video ad? Let me talk about what makes a terrible one. What makes me go, oh no, if a client sends me one, is like if there's just a straight, clear wall behind them or a green screen but with nothing on it and they just talk. Yeah. People need to see movement. Another one that I saw that's the leader of a very prominent software that's used in the business coaching industry. He asked me to look and see why his ads weren't working. But what he was doing was just standing in his living room, writing on a whiteboard, and there weren't any captions underneath it. And so it'd be like, I didn't even want to watch it. Like there was no interest. Now, so color and movement does work. And so you want to have some color in there and movement. One of the best video ads I ever ran was from someone that started the video by spinning in her desk chair. Right. And then she was teaching Instagram ads. And so then how to do Instagram. I was running the ads for it, but she was teaching how to grow your Instagram following. Yeah. So then she's showing how on a whiteboard, down on the ground, how she put her things together to make an interesting image. Okay. So there's movement from one scene to another all the way through the video. And it was only probably, we ran it on Instagram, so it had to be less than 59 seconds. So it moved really fast. There was lots of energy. We had captions on it because 80% of the time people don't turn on the sound. No, that's right. So we always want to do this captions, and we do that either from rev.com or we can get them from Facebook as well. I always make sure they're accurate. But I always add captions because people often don't turn on the sound. Yeah, I do it myself. I know I've got a few questions coming in there. I'm panicking really because we're already over. But one of the things, just what you were saying with her, I remember hearing Amy Porterfield saying once that she uses videos, but she uses it as a secondary thing. So she's found that a generic stock photo first, because people don't know her. Well, who doesn't know her? But, in theory, the cold audience don't know her, so they're not going to connect. But once they've sort of come in, then you're saying about retargeting, aren't you, with, using that audience that you've already contacted once, they then see you and go, that's Adrian on video. Yeah, I know him.
So it's stronger to come in at that second level rather than maybe the cold initial stage.
Yes, we actually have them running both ways, because I do want the cold audiences to get to know the client. So we actually test it both ways. But yes, what Amy Porterfield is saying is brilliant. Yes, for sure. And cold audiences don't respond well to non-video ads, and it also then depends on the video. Yeah,
absolutely. Very quickly, Mark's just asking, what's the maximum time for one of these videos, a Facebook ad video? Is there a maximum time?
If you're running it just on Facebook, there's not a maximum time frame, but you want to get to the point quickly because people have short attention spans. Yep. So I would be hesitant to run a video that was more than 2 minutes, especially because then I'm going to retarget the percentage of video watched. Right. And so then, of course, that percentage, doing the math.
And a good hook nice and early to get people in that first couple of seconds, really, as they're scrolling potentially.
Yes.
Sylvia's just put, what do you think to a trailer video, 15 seconds, to a bigger mini video ad? 2-minute video ad. Let me say that again. Sorry, look, it's small on here. Let me put it up. What do you think to a trailer video, 15 seconds, to a bigger 2-minute video ad?
I think it's a good idea. I think if you can capture attention with color, movement, excitement, 15 seconds is really short. We run Instagram story ads, and you have to be so quick. And so it's those don't work nearly as well. We actually have gotten them to work for cold traffic, but it's just you can't hardly say anything in 15 seconds. Yeah. And so if you can do it, hats off to you. But I actually think that you could go all the way to less than 59 seconds, run it on Facebook and Instagram, and go from there.
That's what I've been doing, sort of try if I can get a minute one, then I know that I can put it up on Instagram as well, and play with that. Michelle, I'm going to let you run. I know we came on and you were saying it needs to be half an hour because you've got to get off to a support call. So I appreciate you've let us go over that. Where can people find out more about you?
They can certainly go to my website, that's my email, michelle@michellebridger.com. But my website is Michelle with 2 L's, Bridger.com. So MICHELLEBRIDGER.com. And then I gave my email. So if you have questions, you can reach out to me as well.
Thank you. And we've got, I know over on your page is your 5 secrets to a successful Facebook ad. That's what I downloaded and had to read through. That's really good, and I can certainly recommend that. But thank you ever so much. And what I would just say, guys, if you're following along and catch this in a replay and you've got questions that we haven't got to, we'll come to that. We'll have a look at them, certainly over in the group. We'll put any... I'll come back and I'll ask Michelle if she can just come back and answer any of those questions that we've got on there. And I can see we haven't really scratched the surface. This is such a big topic, isn't it?
I really appreciate. Oh my goodness, I could talk all day long. Yeah, absolutely.
So we may well have you back on soon.
I would like that, and I'd love to be able to help you. I'm excited for your launch, and know that you're such an expert. I'm
definitely going to be reaching out after this. Because
I'd love that.
I think I've just seen myself. Even just as we're talking, I'm realizing I'm coming at this totally the wrong way, really, or this, the sudden pressure of expecting to get cold traffic into a webinar, when actually I've got plenty of lead magnets and things already out there that are linked from the back of my YouTube videos, but I'm not using Facebook to drive to that, or even to those YouTube videos themselves. Lots of ideas and lots of ways to go with this. So thank you ever so much. Thank you. Sylvia's just posted your web address in the comments. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you guys for watching along. And if you watch it in the replay, as I say, any questions, post them in here. Thanks ever so much. Next week, we'll be back on Thursday, and I'm just waiting for confirmation on my guest. It may well be me, and I've got plenty of things up my sleeve that I'm keen to talk about with regards to video. And I'm also interested to have a go with YouTube and see how that goes.
Good.
Yeah, see how what you think to that, Michelle. I'm going to trying a YouTube live as opposed to a Facebook live, and we'll just, it's all testing, isn't it?
I'll test, yes.
So we'll have a go at that. Thanks again, Michelle. I hope we haven't made you too late for your call, and appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you guys. We'll see you on the next video.